Apparently, being a parent isn't the most grounded side of Will and Jada Smith, considering their own children, blame them both for horrendous impact and effect. Well, since the hypotheses about the Smiths partaking in pleasure seekers' parties hit the titles, individuals were worried about the effect it could have on their youngsters Willow and Jaden. And it wasn't some time before the messes with themselves focused on how these undertakings defiled their spirits. And presently Willow is faulting her mom Jada for obliterating her life. Greetings, everybody. And welcome back to Celeb Live Station. I keep my eyes on the most shameful occasions in the entertainment biz and continuously present to you the most blazing updates, so nobody is truly shocked when Will and Jada Smith hit the titles again on the grounds that this family can't envision their lives without public dramatization. And this time their own girl, 22-year-old Willow, opened up how her mother's selfishness and carelessness destroyed her life. Well, the Smiths have never appeared to be the case of extraordinary nurturing. And if you have any desire to get the juiciest subtleties of this show, make a point to remain with me until the end. As per the media, the wild hypothesis about Will and Jada getting a charge out of the open marriage, as well as having an insane sexually unbiased pleasure-seeker relationship, may truly be valid. I mean, nobody is so anxious to air their grimy material in broad daylight as Jada Pinkett Smith Wright. She once affirmed that her better half is resting near and is allowed to pick any accomplice on our Facebook page. Jada uncovered Will and I both can do anything we desire since we trust each other to do so. Well, while certain individuals partake in their protection, Will and Jada are the sort of individuals who need to remain nearby the crowd and even welcome them to examine their conjugal undertakings. Clearly, such exposure harmed their children Willow and Jaden. And as they were filling in a particularly unfortunate climate, they couldn't bear it any longer. I mean, being familiar with their folks' issues. This is simply so net. And as additional disclosures about the Smiths' adoration life surface, the most over-the-top sickening it for the children to bear, like Jada, as of late admitted that she dated August Alsiny. Since she met him at her child's show, I couldn't say whether she's doing this for exposure. Yet it truly works for her. This very episode set another standard as Facebook's most watched unique episode in the initial 24 hours. Well, it's great for her rating, yet I get such things adversely influence the children. Yet Jada didn't stop here. She has been into fascinating disclosures as of late. She affirmed well-established reports that she is sexually open on her Facebook Watch show and conceded that she swarmed significantly over different ladies. While in her 20s, she said, "Twice I've been charmed by a lady." And with respect to her better half, Will Smith, well, he likewise got his portion of bits of gossip concerning his sexual inclinations. Everything began in 1993, when the entertainer was dealing with the arrangement of 6 levels of partition, where he played a gay cheat. This was a pivotal snapshot of his profession. Yet it was uncovered that Will wouldn't kiss his co-star Anthony Lobby. In one of the scenes, evidently, he was too stressed over what individuals could imagine him, regardless of whether it was truly for the film. Well, around then, Hollywood was not the best spot for gay entertainers. But rather, assuming you feel that was just a single-time episode, hang tight for everything I say to you next 20 years. After the fact, in 2013, bits of gossip about Will furtively laying down with his dear companion, Dwayne Martin, showed up. As per the sources, the entertainer was investing a lot of energy with Martin and even favor his organization to his significant other and family oak. In the event that I recall accurately, this was when Will and Jada were briefly isolated, and many individuals even felt that their association over everlastingly. The hypothesis got even warmed when Dwayne's better half, Tisha Campbell, posted a dubious post on her Instagram, as many individuals deciphered her distribution. She was indicating that her significant other is truly laying down with men, and Will had being one of them. Her post read, "Reality generally turns out in the end, regardless of how diligently anybody attempts to conceal it." Well, It appears to be really clear to me that Duane was not by any means the only man to impart ved to Will Smith. Obviously, the entertainer has been caught with numerous different characters. And it was intriguing to discover that August Alsina could be one of them. He shared a seriously enigmatic message. While discussing his experience on the Strange Life unscripted TV drama and what it meant for him in a genuine admission, he stated that his adoration life turned totally on account of the man called Ziza. And he got a totally new comprehension of what love was. This large number of claims and conversations couldn't leave an effect on Willow and Jaden. And I surmise the children were exactly disturbed to peruse everything on the media about their reference. Many individuals, except that Will and Judah's kids, were taking the report about their folks' dull mysteries severely. And it wrecked them a ton. One individual remarked poisonous, self-centered information. And Will didn't show their children responsibility and obligation. They demolished their children, who are a wide range of screwed up now. And someone else added Will and Jada are Hollywood insane. And presently their children are too, yet what might look insane for every other person was seen by the Smiths as typical. And they didn't endeavor to conceal their purported ordinariness from the children. Will in some cases had his snapshots of being ordinary, and surprisingly, took steps to leave Jada in the event that she planned to converse with him the same way as expected. Presumably the entertainer genuinely attempted to show his children what a typical family relationship could be, and eventually they even became wary about what was subtleties of their affection love were spilled to the general population. However, I surmise the harm was at that point finished, and Jaden was quick to answer these undesirable elements in the family. At 15 years old, he clarified that he needed to move away from his folks' wreck and keep away from any sort of sick impact coming from them in the event that you some way or another missed that colossal story. Jaden Smith requested to be liberated and demanded to turn out to be lawfully liberated from his folks. All teens are very difficult to deal with, and they have fascinating necessities. And once at this age, yet requesting to be legitimately isolated from the big-name guardians, I surmise Will and Jada wrecked the kid big time. As Jada reviewed it, was one of the most disastrous episodes of her life. Obviously, on the off chance that you consider the way that normally kids don't request to be liberated, on the off chance that the energy in the family is solid, yet Jaden never remarked on his vision to live freely. Dissimilar to her sibling Willow, was more vocal about all that her folks put her through. And she reviewed the minutes when her mother appeared to be so despondent and disappointed with her union with Will that Willow, being around then 13, attempted to repair her mother in her own particular manner. She purportedly composed a letter to Tupac, requesting that he return and assist her mother with being cheerful once more. In the event that you don't realize, Jada Pinkett Smith was broadly connected to the rapper and has not moved past Tupac's passing, who was lethally shot in a Las Vegas hit-and-run assault in September 1996. And her letter, 13-year-old Willow, composed: Dear Tupac, I realize you are alive somewhere. I believe that my mom truly misses you. Might you, at any point, kindly return so mama and me can be blissful? Might you at any point return so mom and me can be blissful? It seems like having Will in her life in bed was never enough for Jada, and she generally longed for all the more. Even the entertainer once conceded that Willow went excessively profound, and surprisingly shouted at her superstar father, requesting him to fix his mother in their marriage. Yet as Willow became older, she figured out how to impart her contemplations to the public, very much like her mother and father. In a meeting with Apple Music, once Zane Lowe, she conceded that she had forever been under enormous strain due to her folks, and created numerous injuries attempting to be ideal for them. The dissatisfaction and pressure she had experienced brought about her cutting herself and watching grown-up recordings, in light of the fact that, as Willow made sense of it, was the only ones to go through the wreck. While some other parent would be stunned by these disclosures, Jada essentially reference that she has some awareness of that from the start, yet this makes me can't help thinking about for what reason did Jada never shut down at Well. I get it's past the point where it is possible to raise Willow in light of the fact that the young lady is 22, and she is now under gigantic effect of her parent trickeries. Yet as she became older, she understood it was unimaginable for what to change, and she decided to embrace the way that her folks wouldn't quit sharing individual stuff and making roundtables about their affection life online. In anything that interview, she said, I feel I've generally perceived that my folks are their own kin, a ton of children. Consider their folks like your entire character. Is for me you all personality. Is for me yet seeing them in this way of life. We had from an exceptionally youthful age. It was obvious to me they weren't simply my folks, they're full others who have their own feelings, Willow has admitted, in being polyamorous.